Buonasera, 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 non me lo prende, ma cazzo, figurati. Bentornati su Genshin Impact anche questa sera. Allora, ci siamo lasciati l'ultima volta dopo quel... Che Clean. Pronto. Ok, si stava buttando giù. Stavamo dicendo, ci siamo lasciati l'ultima volta dopo quel disastro successo a Sumeru. Un bel po' di resina, devo usarla. A Sumeru con il dottore, Scaramouche che ha preso il controllo di quella povera Crista. E Kusanali che, o meglio, come cazzo si chiama? Catherine? Giusto? Che è morta malissimo, massacrata dagli sgherri del dottore. E abbiamo la Kusanali che poi aveva preso il controllo del Traveler. E non so poi cosa sia successo. Semplicemente abbiamo deciso che dobbiamo andare nel deserto. Non mi ricordo più un cazzo. È passato troppo tempo. Comunque, tornando a noi, proseguiamo con l'esplorazione. Vediamo un po'. Abbiamo anche Kusanali. Sì, Kusanali. Abbiamo trainari dietro. Domandona. Vediamo un po' com'è il nostro party.
We finally made it to Caravan Rebot. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh?
Beh, sì.
Wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
Ma ops, scusatemi, ho fatto un disastro. Ma in realtà una roba di queste dimensioni mi sembra più un merito di Zhongli a occhio e croce. Però, boh, abbastanza incredibile.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Salve. Beh,
Over
salve.
here.
Ok, andiamo.
Oh, Hatham went that way. Let's hurry up and follow him.
Sono più veloce di te, pagliaccio. Guarda come corro, guarda come corro. Pure con Klee. Sono fortissimo. Superatissimo, easy peasy. Ciao Flash, buonasera. Ciao bello, siamo tornati su Genshin.
What the? Where did she go?
Ci stavano seguendo e manco ce ne siamo accorti, a posto. Che polli.
How did we lose them? They were just here a second
Che
ago.
polli.
More Aramite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
Già.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago.
Grazie. Anche se ci stai trattando come pezze da piedi, grazie.
There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors.
Ho sonno?
All I did
Dormi,
was correct the
Flash.
mistake I happened
Di
to
solito
come
aiuta.
across.
Di
It's a habit
solito.
I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al Hatham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders.
Ma no, figurati, ci avrebbe già raccattato
you've
prima, no?
already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list.
Eccolo.
I can't say that I didn't expect it.
Ci abbiamo anche messo
However,
poco, in realtà.
Had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Infatti.
Oh, right.
Ma è presto, e allora rimani un po' qui con me. Hai partecipato nel grande progetto dei
I have no
saggi? Quello dei
interest in running
sogni?
errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy.
Ok.
And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer.
Ma i suoi occhi che cazzo c'hanno? Sono tipo neri sopra, blu sotto e rossi e gialli dentro? Quindi ci stavi cercando?
Not quite.
Che occhi strani che
To
ha.
tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine knowledge capsule.
Ah,
Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties.
ah.
Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting.
Ah, sì?
The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you. And upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time.
Ah, ci ha sgamato.
To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
Must be because I was shocked to hear those words again. World forget me. Che sono le stesse cose che ha sentito anche lei nel piano astrale dell'albero della vita.
What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
È uno molto interessato. Stamattina ho installato Overwatch 2, molto bellino. Hai giocato anche il primo, Flash? Domanda. La situazione è un po' complicata, magari ne riparliamo, ecco.
Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the divine knowledge capsule. Am I right?
Eccolo lì, ci ha sgamato. No, il primo no. E a quanto ho sentito non è tanto diverso. Non è tanto diverso, però è free to play. Quindi invoglia molta più gente a entrare.
Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right. We have the same plan as you. But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
Andiamo.
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
Ma quindi Tainari l'abbiamo lasciato lì dove stava, praticamente. Vabbè. Poi c'è un personaggio che ora non mi ricordo il nome, somiglia un sacco ad Arthur. Chi è Arthur? Chi è Arthur?
Before us lies Aru Village, the
Già
safe
stato, già
haven of the
visto.
desert folk.
Ho già esplorato quasi tutto il deserto
This
ormai.
landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out!
È Namu. Oh, cutscene. Attenzione. ok, Arthur Morgan. Ok, capito. È tipo McCree? Può essere, no, l'avevano chiamato diversamente, mi sa. Che è stato? Ah, è Sino. Minchia. Bello aggressivo, Ma c'è dietro il tizio. È gli NPC? Wow, ok. Va bene, mioio, datti una calmata. È che siamo in un anime. È che... Saino. Oddio, quindi si chiama Saino? Non è Sino? Ah, un merda. Lo combattiamo?
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
General Mahamatra?
Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my attack.
Ok.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me.
Par de palle, figlio di puttana. Io ho combattuto contro Raiden Shogun full power col Musono Hitotachi. Tu chi cazzo sei per osare anche solo parlare davanti a me? Pezzo di me...
Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Terzo
Seems to
main.
me more like your own personal touch.
Il primo chi sarebbe, scusami? Ganyu, giustamente. Scemo io. Domanda stupida, perdona. Perdona.
Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino,
C'ho un culo tanto,
head
figlio di
of all the
puttana.
Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth.
Perché dovrei credere a
I've
te,
been pursuing
scusami.
this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Sì, in effetti cioè, non è che noi ci fidiamo ciecamente di lui. Stiamo seguendo perché ci ha detto di fare così, però.
Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste
Giustamente.
my breath explaining things. I'll hate them. I saw it during our fight.
Cosa?
Take it out. The divine knowledge
Sgamato.
capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No, se l'è rattato lui, Paimon.
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this
Ci ha
capsule
ignorato bellamente, proprio se ne è
and
sbattuto il
why,
cazzo
as
di quello che abbiamo
General
detto.
Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
È una missione dei saggi, chiaramente, a questo punto. Sgamatissimo, proprio
I should have
sgamatissimo.
known you'd be difficult to deal with.
E quindi, vuoi schiaffi? Facciamo a schiaffi, dai.
What you would do, traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them.
Non ci possiamo fidare di nessuno ed è per questo che stompiamo entrambi
Well,
adesso.
look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Deia,
Dia?
Dia. Chissà quando sarà disponibile lei, sembra proprio sbroffa.
Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village?
3-2 a quanto ho
Like
capito?
someone's gonna have to beat some sense
Ah,
into your big
3.2,
skulls
ok.
until you finally learn to respect these grounds.
Sei incazzata. 3.2 ci sta, quindi sarebbe la prossima patch, non quella che viene fra una settimana, ma quella dopo. Dia, you're still looking for an opportunity to attack.
Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa,
The wind is
what's
howling.
going on? The wind's so strong! Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away!
La madonna.
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover.
Scusate, mi alzo ancora un pochino il volume perché sembra un po' bassino. Ok. Così dovrebbe andare bene.
Calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong! Let's get over there!
Un po' troppo forse. Facciamo a 17.
That sounded like Candace.
Candace, ok, non Candice.
Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Ok, quindi che facciamo? Siamo un po' troppi in sto posto? La taverna è uguale all'altra, solo diversa dentro. Però tipo la disposizione dei tavoli, tutto quanto è identico. Dopo sti due c'è Nilu e Alberto. Non c'è Kusanagi fra una settimana? Oh merda, no, è vero. Oh no. Oh, che palle. Io speravo già sabato di wishare per Kusanagi. No, c'è ragione. Ma porco tutto. Che palle, ero convinto, ti giuro. Ero convinto. Ma dai. Vabbè, più tempo per mettere da parte i pull. Andiamo avanti oppure stiamo qua a guardare il nulla ancora per molto?
Well, this is pretty awkward.
Abbastanza, sì.
Hey, Wanna play sardines with 3 people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
Come?
My sincere apologies, everyone.
Oh,
This is the home of our village
Gandhis.
chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru village.
Our savior has come at last. Nice to
Candice.
meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
Grazie, ci hai salvato il culo.
There's
Vuoi
no
prenderci a
need to thank
schiaffi pure tu?
It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Certo.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
Ah,
All right.
stronza
Now that
Paimon.
we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand.
Ovvero?
As a guardian charged with the responsibility to
Buona
protect
schiena.
my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the
Ah, ma che
sandstorm
figo, ha
started.
l'eterocromia negli
And now that
occhi,
you
che
have set foot
figo.
within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest.
Sì, comunque potevano
If
dargli un
anyone dares to
microfono
start
decente,
anything
eh.
again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Cioè, ogni volta che dice una S sente... Sandstorm. Che fastidio, mamma mia.
Oh, on second thought,
Terribile.
I misjudged Candace's character.
Diciamo che si è rotte i coglioni, mi sa,
And
di
that
sentire sti
goes for
qua.
you too, Miss Dia.
Conosce
Do I
tutti
make
lei
myself
comunque.
clear?
Incredibile.
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now.
Lasci un po' desiderare
Anyway,
come
one of those
mediatrice,
two
eh.
should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
Sì, in effetti.
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself.
Vai.
While all Hatham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Ah?
Exile yourself?
Per quale
A little
motivo?
while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise,
Bentornato,
the
Flash.
person responsible
Mi
for the
spiace per le
erroneous
pubblicità.
data
Non ci
was
posso
none
fare
other
niente.
than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I
Ah,
began
e
to realize
quindi...
that they were cautious of me from the very beginning.
E quindi tu sei uno dei buoni.
Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
Ok.
So they really are up to no good.
Sì, e non si stanno
I
neanche sbattendo a
realized then that to
nasconderlo,
the
se è
Grand
per questo.
Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today.
Benvenuto nel mondo odierno.
I believed it
E
would
quindi
be
ti sei
wise to
esiliato.
flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions.
Ok.
I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Ma si frega se arrivo tardi, non ti preoccupare Flash, domani porto COD.
We're all investigating the sages.
Probabilmente lo finiamo.
Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary.
E beh, non credo che se la sia inventata, anche perché avrebbe poco senso. Forse. No, in realtà ci sta. Noi l'abbiamo sgamato, lui non è riuscito a farci fuori, quindi adesso cerca di fare l'amico per poi pugnalarci alle spalle. No, potrebbe essere in
Sono,
effetti.
if that's your story, then why did you see Al-Haytham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage.
Oh?
The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Al-Haytham?
Oh!
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the divine knowledge capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Ma che bastardo, quindi ci stava solo spiando alla fine dei conti?
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler.
Al-Haytham?
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused.
Che doppiatore comunque,
The
porca
sage
puttana.
told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
Ah,
A most enticing offer.
abbastanza.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists.
Ah,
That gave me all I needed to know.
ah.
From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward?
In effetti.
So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean
Che carina questa inquadratura.
that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
Perché domani mattina sono io e la società mi ha trovato l'azienda a firmare, poi devo andare a mangiare via, scuola fino alle 18, casa non so che ore, devo andare a mangiare fuori con i miei amici, e poi facciamo i giovani. Che vuol dire facciamo i giovanissimi fino alle 22? Non ho capito. Ah, che fate i giovani proprio tipo pazza gioia e bordello fino alle 22? Minchia. Ma infatti, quindi volevi solamente investigarmi?
I'd already given up on the assignment.
Ah,
by
gruppo
then.
cattolico, ok,
I
ok.
only told the academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the divine knowledge capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Chiaro, chiaro.
Even though I ran into the traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
In effetti. Anche se in realtà non è abbastanza per provare la tua innocenza, eh.
Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
Può
I'm
essere.
willing to apologize if that's worth anything to you.
Beh.
I took the divine knowledge capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Mi sa di no, eh.
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
Per ora.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your
Lei
misunderstandings.
davvero è la sorella maggiore,
And
eh.
now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Che ci fai qui?
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the
Sì, non aveva gli occhi rossi?
is friends with the traveler.
Non ho capito.
And is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, dear.
That's more like it. I
Queste
missed you all
sono
so much,
terribili.
Candace.
Sì.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry.
Sì,
Now that you're no longer at each other's throats,
gli occhi
please
rossi.
make yourselves at home.
Ha gli occhi arancioni.
I'll take a quick trip outside
No.
to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Come?
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Ma infatti, fatti
Fighting in a
aiutare.
sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Ma possiamo andare in giro con una targhetta qui? Con scritto ho fatto a cazzotti con Raiden Shogun e poi sottotitolo sono sopravvissuta al Musou no Itotachi. Cioè, possiamo ricordare al mondo che noi siamo tipo l'essere più forte canonicamente in questo pianeta? O no? O dobbiamo continuare a fare i coglioni ancora per molto? Non ho capito.
Just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
Perché questo in realtà, se ci pensate un attimo, è un po' un problema. Perché cazzo, Raiden Shogun è tipo letteralmente... O meglio, più che Raiden Shogun, Ei è letteralmente uno dei personaggi più potenti in assoluto. Ed è l'unico Archon che ci ha combattuto faccia a faccia, quindi... Insomma, non abbiamo poi granché dati sugli altri, in effetti. Forse in termini di potere assoluto, Zhongli è un po' più grosso, perché, cioè, anche solo considerando i danni che riesce a fare al pianeta, no? Un colpo di Raiden Shogun ha tagliato praticamente parte di Inazuma via, e l'ha fatta diventare praticamente una penisola. Però anche Zhongli tipo distrugge le montagne e le crea come se nulla fosse, quindi forse potrebbero essere alla pari. Comunque in generale abbiamo affrontato un drago, un Archon, un drago a tre teste e sua moglie d'ago. Non era un drago a tre teste, era un'Hydra, il cane di Zhongli, la signora Child, ripeto, Raiden Shogun. E penso basti, no? Non basta? Cioè, vabbè. Chi era là solo? Io ancora non ci credo a sta cosa che Raiden Shogun ha staccato via parte di Inazuma con un colpo solo
Candace still isn't back
per
yet.
ammazzare il dragone, cioè il serpentone.
Maybe we should go out and check on her.
Andiamo, dai.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the
Ah,
boys
un
are
arco,
as chatty
giusto.
as the floor.
Archon comunque con una O, Flash? Comunque no, cioè, guardate. Io l'ho scoperta tipo, non so, cos'è, un paio di settimane fa sta cosa. Vedete questo taglio qui in mezzo? Questo qua era Raiden Shogun che ha staccato la testa del serpente. Cioè, tanto è vero che si chiama Musoujin Gorge, quindi la baia del Musou. E qua ha staccato via con un taglio netto parte dell'isola. Perché qui c'era, vedi, la spina dorsale del serpente che era tutto annidato qua. Oppure faceva tipo così, non lo so. Comunque, cioè, qua era la testa, ha detto basta, mi sono rotto il cazzo. Pa! Secco, netto. Quell'ora che l'abbiamo affrontato non una, ma 3 volte. Sì, capito. Cioè, che poi abbiamo affrontato lei, abbiamo affrontato la sua marionetta e abbiamo affrontato sua sorella che era addirittura più forte di lei, quindi non so. Non so, io magari eviterei di rompere i coglioni al Traveler se fossimo di loro. Gli abbiamo fatti... No, beh, fatto il culo no, perché una volta col Musou no Itotachi ci ha quasi schioppato. Bisogna essere sinceri. Abbiamo affrontato. Fatto il culo magari una volta. Oh? Perché tutti ci sottovalutano? Non lo so.
You're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Esatto, la sua stamina mica male.
Here comes another wave!
E dai, e andiamo.
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
E dai.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action.
Flame Mane?
I'll
Ok.
leave these to you then.
I'll be
Proviamo.
sure to put on a good show. Let's go.
Peccato non poter vedere le sue abilità.
Coming to be.
Quando vai?
Dumpty Toe!
Ma che fai, oh?
Here comes another wave!
Facciamoci, che problema
I'm
c'è?
never gonna let up!
The wind knows me.
Io sto combattendo con due personaggi, praticamente. Due personaggi.
The creature stopped
È vero, quello è un peccato, però giustamente, se lo devi scegliere tu.
What we fought just now was probably the
Non potevano
aftermath of the
doppiare tutto.
sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
E tu chi sei? Ah, sarà tipo l'anziano del villaggio?
Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Ok, piacere.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and
Però è
frequent.
strano, perché i cagnoloni
Besides
erano di
sandstorms,
Inazuma,
we
no?
also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Piccolo appunto. Io ho esplorato già il deserto al di fuori della missione principale. L'ho visto praticamente tutto e non mi pare di ricordare i cagnoloni. Può essere che siano tipo una... siano dovuti in qualche modo a Scaramouche? Mi verrebbe da pensare. Perché altrimenti non si spiega. Perché proprio questi
Another
nemici?
effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Ciao.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Cosa sono i village
Keeper?
keepers?
Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Immagino di sì.
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru village refers to mad scholars exiled here by the academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest.
E perché si chiamano
The
village
academia
keepers?
believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Ok, ma perché si chiamano keepers? Cioè, qual è il senso dietro? Anche Epesia stavo per diventare una roba così.
That's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your
Che
guilt and atone for
stronzo.
your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Ma comunque io Saino me lo
You're the
aspettavo un po' più
former
piccolino,
General
anche come voce.
Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
Ok, aiuteremo anche noi,
Because you're
chiaramente.
reminded of Hypatia?
Certo.
Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound.
Sì, ce la possiamo fare.
idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
Lo guarderemo. Sign è più basso di Zhao. Ma è piccolino, capito? Mi fa un po' strano la voce così adulta. Devo essere sincero. Comunque sì, lo terremo d'occhio.
No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates.
Vai, tranquillo. Ci siamo qui noi. Assai. Saltino finale, incredibile.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before.
Ovvero?
Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation?
Sì. Stavo giusto chiedendo perché li chiamano Keepers.
One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands.
Cosa?
A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt.
Quindi effettivamente questi mad scholars...
The people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
Arrivano effettivamente in contatto con l'Yggdrasil.
A mad scholar protecting Aru village?
No?
What do you make of it, traveler?
Sì, solo lei sarebbe capace di questo.
I think so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction.
Allora era quello che li faceva impazzire?
Oh, no wonder.
Ciao Flash, buonanotte, caro.
Since then, add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
Sì.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story?
Was actually the one who protected the village. Sì.
Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ebbene sì.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the mad scholars.
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your
Giustamente lui dice, ma che cazzo? Come è uscita questa?
The current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru?
Beh, sì.
The academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views.
Comprensibile.
In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise, even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
Sì, in effetti abbiamo anche salvato l'intera città di Sumeru insieme, quindi...
I've spent many years
Guess what? Siamo fighi.
criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Among Us?
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation.
E dai.
But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Che senso?
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
No, siamo qui per tutt'altro motivo, quindi se te ne puoi andare, non ce ne frega un cazzo.
A resident of this village.
Che non abbiamo interesse a conoscere, non te l'ho chiesto.
You'll help me find my grandpa,
Non mi
right?
risulta, non mi pare
Is your
proprio.
grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
Ma non ce ne frega. Non siamo qui per aiutare te, abbiamo altro da
The
fare.
person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Che domanda
Grandpa
è?
is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was,
Ma che cazzo?
but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
C'è una spia sto ragazzino
I
praticamente.
wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa.
Che vada per i cazzi suoi a cercarselo, no? Dobbiamo metterci in mezzo noi,
I
sempre.
was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
Oh, voglio aiutare sto bambino.
But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
E dai. E andiamo a perdere tempo. Preciously Isaac to wait nearby, ok.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah,
Oi,
you're back already.
Candice.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
Ciao Matt,
I
buonasera.
had a feeling he'd go looking for
Quanto ti
you.
sei impegnato a scrivere sta cazzata?
You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window.
E l'hanno notati tutti tranne
He really
noi, siamo
wants to get his
stronzi
grandfather
praticamente.
back.
Vabbè.
Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he
2
could
minuti, ok.
survive.
Vabbè, 2
Later,
minuti in più di quanto.
an
Sta a
elderly
posto,
mad
sta a posto, a parte
scholar
la
of the
schiena, domani vado a
village.
farmi vedere. Tu come
Isak
stai,
thought the
Matt?
scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him.
Capisco.
One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars, and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep.
Ok.
The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him.
Ah,
However, even so, Grandpa retained his calm expression. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he
continua a
no longer appeared
non
to
avere
be
grip su di
crazy,
me.
but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace, and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun? Or, Grandpa, could you tell me stories about the stars again?
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both deserve so much better.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, we must still continue on with our lives. It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Ma lei c'ha tipo l'occhio del millennio. L'ho notato adesso. C'ha l'occhio del millennio. È quello di Yu-Gi-Oh! È uguale. Pronto? Pronto? Lucy Grandpa was probably Nahida. She must have sued the other men's scholar as well. Sì. From the look of Sino's face, probably connected dots as well. Sì. Beh, in effetti è tutta mitologia. È quello di Yu-Gi-Oh! Sì, è quello di Yu-Gi-Oh! Beh, in realtà, effettivamente questo è preso dalla mitologia egizia e questa parte del deserto è basata effettivamente sull'Egitto. Tant'è vero che Sino è letteralmente Anubi, quindi, insomma, ci sta che ci siano anche queste simbologie. Quindi bisogna sempre credere nel cuore delle carte. Verissimo, sono d'accordissimo.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
Che faccia?
No, nothing. As long as Esau keeps his word and doesn't get in our way.
Che pessima idea. Che pessima idea portarsi dietro un bambino.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's behalf, Sino.
Ma io posso tossire e singhiozzare contemporaneamente? Come possibile? Cioè, tossisco in fuori, singhiozzo in dentro. Come fai a farli insieme, corpo? Come fai? La mitologia egizia è stupenda. Io devo essere sincero, mi piaceva un sacco la mitologia egizia. Poi ho scoperto quella greca e niente, mi son perso proprio. Cioè, quella greca è l'apoteosi del nonsense più assurdo proprio.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
Siamo proprio noi.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
E andiamo, dai.
Really? Wow! Thank you so much!
Vabbè, starà bene tuo padre, non ti preoccupare.
Yeah! Alright. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Senti, i testi originali egizi, pure loro non scherzavano. No, in realtà devo essere sincero. Più che altro perché non lo abbiamo trattato tantissimo. O meglio, alcune robe dell'Egitto le avevamo trattate in epica. Però poi la Grecia, la parte greca, sai, con tutti i racconti che ci sono arrivati. E chiaramente la parte che si studia di più a scuola ed è anche quella. Cioè io mi ricordo che tipo alle medie o addirittura alle elementari io mi prendevo i libri di epica e me li leggevo a casa perché era troppo divertente vedere tipo gli dei che si scopavano e facevano bordello. Era una roba assurda da piccolo, ragazzi, incredibile.
Did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots.
Perfetto.
I shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Sono d'accordo.
Okay.
È la base della nostra civiltà, verissimo, verissimo.
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
Sorry? Ciao. Che modi sono? Cioè se ne va senza... Shani.
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Sempre la roba che
Do you
dicevamo
also
prima.
think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Vabbè, sono solo un po'
Grandpa?
pazzi.
Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one
Ci
who
farò un
protected
pensierino,
my
grazie per il
house.
consiglio,
I
Matt.
saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground.
Oh?
It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Perfetto.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mi sto annoiando tantissimo. Posso dirlo. Mi sto un sacco annoiando. Dove cazzo devo andare? Ops, sbagliato. No, volevo premere B. Sta parte è super noiosa. Non me ne frega un cazzo di suo nonno. Posso dire la verità. Cioè, non abbiamo motivo per cercare sta gente. Sembra una secondaria fatta male.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak.
Ma che poi scusami. Cioè, scusami.
It's been a while.
In sto villaggio tutti lo conoscono. Oh, è Isaac. Ah, non ti avevo riconosciuto. Ciao Isaac. Cioè, tutti conoscono Isaac, nessuno che lo aiuta a ritrovare suo nonno. Dobbiamo essere noi stronzi che siamo arrivati da neanche 24 ore a pigliarcelo appresso e portarlo in giro per la città a chiedere alla gente e poi cercare suo nonno. Ma che villaggio di merda è?
The last time I saw him, he was pacing out by the road as usual.
Come al solito, certo.
I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite
relativo non si
terrified.
dice pappos, la cosa mi ha sempre fatto
Speaking of my wife,
pappos.
she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. Might explain why she's always mad at me.
Può essere.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
Perfetto. Molto bene.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you.
Dai.
I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
Sei famiglia. Come mio figlio, guarda, sei proprio... Però a cercare tuo nonno, cazzi tuoi.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Ma nice guy di che? Ma stiamo facendo tutto noi. Che c'è?
Don't say anything for now.
Ok.
Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Si tirano schiaffi? È il momento? È il momento degli schiaffi? Potrebbe essere il momento degli schiaffi.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land.
Ancora fissate queste
I've
cose.
never believed in any other gods.
Oh,
Still,
figurati.
you say he's coming back, but
mio.
it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon.
Life will change.
What's your proof?
Come diceva la canzone di Persona 5.
The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times.
Aia.
We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King.
Buono a sapersi.
Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared?
No, non mi sembra
If you
sensato.
ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Che robe infantili e stupide.
Now that you say it, that does make
Se non
some
la gente
sense.
dice che si parla così, via.
Does this
Se
mean
non lo
our
scarico subito,
lives
dubito
are
seriamente.
finally going to take a turn for the better?
E spero bene che non succeda
Those city
mai.
folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Abbiamo già sentito tutto, Sino. Saino.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is
Ah, no.
running thin. You heard what I asked.
Hanno avuto una reazione abbastanza sensata in realtà. Ho visto sto qua che arriva con una maschera da... Ma diventa più grande la maschera?
Bro, this guy's something else.
Bro.
Just look at his eyes.
Bro.
One wrong move and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty,
Ma che stronzo.
then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Beh, ci sta. Sì, nel senso che comunque l'Accademia ormai li tratta... Cioè è un po' come la differenza fra Nord e Sud, no? Che il Sud è sempre stato bistrattato, mentre il Nord fioriva alle sue spalle, e un po' sfruttandolo anche. Quindi ci sta.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
Man.
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie.
Si chiama Colonia per un motivo,
He's really
capito?
not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
E daccene un paio
I
allora.
have many ways to stop you from talking, and many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody.
Certo.
Don't
Non si può dire no,
anything
no, no.
until
Mi
I've
dissocio,
gotten
per
to the
sicurezza
bottom
mi
of
dissocio
this.
anch'io.
Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
Mi chiedo chi sia più forte fra Sino e Candice.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying.
Beh, fortunatamente non siamo nemici. No, ma perché? No, ma fatti. Meniamolo, cazzo.
He didn't try to reassure us.
Stabiliamo una gerarchia in cui io sono sopra e prevarico su tutti voi.
Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
Esatto, meglio non rompere i coglioni.
I heard that.
Menare sempre comunque, capito?
Sorry.
Cioè, non dobbiamo cagarci sotto di sto qua.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Vedremo.
Isaac!
Oh, maronna, è tornato il bambino.
Here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Noia. Mi sto annoiando. Dai, muoviti, bambino di merda. Quella lì è quella catapecchia ambulante. Dai, Cristo Dio. Madonna, cazzotto io ti prendo. Muoviti, pezzo di merda.
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Oh, non me ne frega un cazzo. Madonna mia, quanto mi sta annoiando questa parte.
Oh, this is where Grandpa usually stays.
Ma è una tenda.
There sure isn't much here.
Che è questo odore? Sai, no, hai sentito questo odore di incenso?
No.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before.
Ah, quello che ti fa diventare pazzo in
Are you
culo?
okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's
Quello che
a
faceva
scent that you
svenire
can sense,
Shurin.
but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
So, you know Tainari?
Tutti conoscono tutti qua praticamente,
You know
ma dai la
him too?
puttana.
Are you two friends?
Yes.
Ah sì?
Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you.
No need.
Non riesco a sopportarlo
Did
molto
you
bene.
first encounter this scent at Tainari's house?
No, era nella foresta dove non è uno scolaro, è un tipo ricercatore. Come lo traduco scholar in italiano? Uno studioso, ecco, non è un ricercatore ma è uno studioso. Ok.
In the forest.
Dividiamoci. Look for clues nearby. Pezzo di merda. Bambino del cazzo te le tue richieste. Cercare clues. Oh, la tenda. Ok, goods. Sono robe che serve tutti i giorni. Quindi? E quindi? Ah? Le impronte. Ok, è andato di qua. Perfetto.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is.
Che è?
Take a look right here.
Dove?
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Sembra esserci della pietra.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here. From the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
Quindi c'era qualcuno.
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
Ma fate le due domande.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Ok.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
Beh, a te succede sempre col cibo.
Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Verissimo.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
Ma che cazzo ti piangi?
Someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
Li stanno sacrificando.
Are the rumors really true?
Magari sì, diciamolo davanti al bambino comunque che si crede suo nipote. Diciamo che l'hanno portato via per sacrificarlo. Mi sembra una buona idea.
The disappearance of all the mad scholars have
Cosa sta
something to do with the
succedendo
radicals?
oggi?
It's highly likely.
Ma che cos'hai oggi, Genshin?
You have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that, we'll set off to find the scholars.
Dai. Io sono scioccato da quanto faccia schifo questa parte. Io mi sto annoiando tantissimo, vi giuro. Vi giuro. È proprio di una lentezza incredibile.
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice too.
Ah, sta parlando di vestiti, giustamente sono donne, quindi figurati.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Hai visto?
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
All-Haytham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful?
Beh, abbiamo trovato delle impronte.
I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
Così sembrerebbe.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Ok.
Makes
Per quale
sense.
motivo? Portarsi via i pazzi?
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team,
Oh.
so you get an extra tip.
Ah, che
Didn't
culo.
you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
Bene.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook.
Ah.
The whole lot of them are known around these parts.
Gente simpatica comunque. Abbiamo già sentito questi nomi?
These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke.
Ah.
The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia.
Perfetto.
Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place inside and out!
Mattia, io... Ok, sì. Va bene.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Stava
Now
fingendo.
hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Ha detto delle cazzate perché si è accorta
Our
di essere
village is not
spiata.
a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust.
Giustamente. Cosa non
I
ti
need to go
convince?
around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Ok.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Va bene.
Sounds like a plan!
Ok, quindi lei si è effettivamente accorta di essere spiata. Questo come si traduce per noi? Cosa cambia per noi?
Well, here
Oh
Sounds
shit.
like you're starting
Here
to
we
get
go
familiar with
again.
the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid.
Beh, in effetti è
Also, why
incredibile.
is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
Beh, sì. No? Anche
It was
abbastanza
only after I
facilmente.
grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru is
senso?
run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more.
Addirittura più
Even if a
facili del
child from the
bestiame.
desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving.
Che pezzi di merda.
Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate, even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
Bene, quindi stiamo per ribaltare un governo corrotto. Molto interessante. Almeno si distanzia un po' da quello che abbiamo già fatto. She doesn't do anything drastic here. Ok, sì.
You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
Spero bene di no.
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Eh sì.
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Cosa?
Shh.
Ehi.
Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for.
Ok.
Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Ok. Ma perché non hai detto a Shurine e Paimon del fatto che ci stavano ascoltando da lontano?
Just our luck.
Forse
None
perché
of them
ancora
are here today.
non ce ne siamo liberati?
You don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you?
Ehi, mitico.
What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Ok.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Ciao, piacere.
Hello, I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
Se non lo sei tu.
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Engur, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days, so you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
Non sto capendo.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Ok. Io non ho capito cosa stiamo facendo. Sono un po' perplesso. Non sto capendo qual è il nostro obiettivo. Non sto capendo perché sta mentendo. Cosa stiamo cercando di preciso. Non sto capendo. Ah, è qui. Eccoci.
Are we there yet?
Perché sembra un posto un po'
This is the place.
fuori
This
mano?
place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark.
Perfetto.
You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Ma che cazzo, che figo l'effetto del coso che ti arriva addosso. Oh no, che peccato.
What's this all about,
Ma
Saki?
no, non me l'aspettavo proprio.
You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there.
Ah, ma chi l'avrebbe mai detto?
Not only do I know that you're looking
Hai visto che colpo di scena? Solo
I
che
also
peccato,
know that you
mannaggia, devo
teamed
proprio
up with
massacrare
people
un po'
from
di
the academia
gente.
to look for the missing scholars.
Ma che sono il
Been
fungatorico?
watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Ma chi è Delavar?
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar.
Anche lui è un bel
And
doppiatore.
You're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary.
Già sei ubriaco.
Should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Dia, I
Ubriachissimo.
thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't
non so.
deserve to join us.
Non so, secondo me ti sbagli un po'.
Gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Che senso?
Enough talking.
Come, scusa? Ah, si mena finalmente?
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
E dai, e andiamo, e meniamogli. E quanto dura? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Saki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop.
Ma mettimele. Non dico tanto, ma una ventina di secondi. Fammi 3-4 ondate. Cioè, fammi combattere come se fossi davvero in pericolo. Non che lancio la E, mi preparo per l'attacco. È già finito tutto prima ancora che posso menare. Che palle.
I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course, you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others.
Brava Dia. Bella
That's what you
sveglia,
thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
Certo.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic.
Picchia. L'ha fatto svenire, wow.
That should be all of them.
Ok.
Whoa! new village?
Ebbene sì.
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Ebbene sì,
Those
poi.
two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Quindi quei nomi che hai menzionato?
You mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves.
Se li sono fatti da soli.
Alcohol has a
Wow.
way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
Da quanto tempo? Ciao caro, mi ricordo di te.
He's just a numbskull
Sono
who
tanti
fell
mesi.
right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
Ok, e l'altro, il terzo stronzo?
That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Ah, ok.
So he's a radical too?
Ah sì? No.
No, he isn't.
Infatti.
I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some
Ok.
wild guesses based on
È
my
bella
impressions.
sveglia, Dio. Molti mesi, bentornato.
What a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for
Mi
you.
piaceva.
Ah,
Non ho avuto
you're
connessione
too
per tutta
kind.
l'estate.
Pretty straight from the usual
Sarà andato in
playbook, if I'm
vacanza,
honest.
immagino.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Beh.
Does that bother you?
No, in effetti non mi sembri quel tipo di
What
persona.
makes you so sure?
Perché in effetti ci stai aiutando e noi soldi non abbiamo intenzione di dartene, quindi.
Dia, do you dislike
Volevo
the
passare a
Dendro
salutare.
Arcana
Grazie mille
like
per il
the other
pensiero,
desert
molto
folk?
gentile.
You two are pretty sharp.
Sei mancato
No,
addirittura?
I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon.
Addirittura? Ti sono mancato?
I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude.
Ah sì?
Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery.
Ok.
But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Ah, come salami, dai. Ok. E quindi non abbiamo ottenuto nulla da tutto ciò? Ancora non sappiamo nulla sui
This should be
sui
all of them.
keepers, o
I'll let
sbaglio?
you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Sì.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
Sì.
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler.
Ok. Va bene.
As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Beh, anche se non dovesse essere, mi sa che nessuno sentirà la loro mancanza, Comunque, dicevamo, 6 di mattina del giorno dopo, basta fare così oppure devo farmi proprio tutto il giro? Mi devo fare tutto il giro, perfetto. Che seccatura. Lì. E niente, attendiamo. Ole.
Hey, Dia.
Right on time.
Beh, siamo stati qui tipo 24 ore. Saputo qualcosa dai criminali? Li abbiamo torturati a dovere? Li abbiamo spezzato le dita dei piedi? Beh, sì. Hanno combattuto insieme.
Some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Che brava persona.
Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Giusto, giusto.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Salve. Come fai a non accorgertene lì da mezz'ora? Ma come fai a non vederlo? Ma...
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Vabbè, ok.
You mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Mi sa di sì.
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Dai,
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
La tua faccia da persona incazzata.
That can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
La Madonna.
Looks like Sino taught her well.
A quanto pare sì. Ah, ok, lei è... Ok, capito.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk.
Verissimo.
The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me,
non il massimo.
What would you do to you in my position?
Mercy!
Che bellissima domanda.
Mercy.
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry.
Che pagliacci.
Please, just let us go.
Che pagliacci.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
E voi l'avete ascoltato così senza nessuna prova?
Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
E dove stanno adesso?
I'm not sure.
Eccolo là, sei un cazzo, sei inutile.
That's one.
Facciamoli fuori.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Giustamente.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
E siamo a 2.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
Non ho anche il coraggio di parlare.
Indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Andiamo, dai. Sapete per caso chi... Loro se la ridono, capito? Sapete per caso chi è questa persona misteriosa? Con la faccina.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Ma...
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
Figo.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
Certo.
Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community.
Giustamente.
It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the academia again.
In Super Series Theory also mentioned King Desret's resurrection in Just the Academy's means of formation campaign. E infatti questa roba è tutta collegata con l'Accademia. Cioè non c'è qualcuno che davvero crede nella resurrezione del re.
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
Sì.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Ok. Let's go. Mi chiedo se riuscirò a finire la missione entro stasera a questo punto. Perché ormai si sta facendo una certa. Non credo che manchi ancora tantissimo. Ah, chi si rivede?
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
Ma eri scomparso finora. Infatti.
And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you a
No!
nickname!
No, Paimon, non pure a lui, ti prego.
Never mind. Paimon's got nothing.
Come?
There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway,
Ok,
you plan
se lo
to
dici
leave
tu.
Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Il piano era quello.
We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
Ci sta dando tempo di pensare a cosa?
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Con lui
I'll
chi?
hate them. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Sì, in effetti, boh, sei un po' comparso dal nulla.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Ovvero?
Paimon doesn't believe you.
Diglielo,
To be
Paimon.
honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts.
Beh, questo non ti aiuterà a diventare
Not
il
to
nostro
mention that
amichetto.
going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Tipo?
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
Che senso?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing?
Non ne ho idea, ma probabilmente non sono troppo contenti di vedersi ritornare un branco di pazzi in
In
villaggio.
other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
No.
You mean some of them lied to us?
Beh, certo.
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying.
Beh,
Again,
tecnicamente
these
sì.
people have their reasons.
Cioè, o dici la verità o non dici la verità, e se non stai dicendo la verità, cioè, ok, al massimo magari non stai spudoratamente mentendo, ma stai nascondendo la verità. Cioè, non dici le cose, tipo se ti chiedo... Non lo so.
Remember what Gandalf said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has
Che
power
bella
is of little
inquadratura.
significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
E quindi dici di aver scoperto delle nuove informazioni, ma come hai
Glad you're following
fatto?
along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability
In
into
effetti è
the equation.
sensato.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Quindi l'ha spaventata.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals'
Questo è
next target.
interessante.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Se adesso dice, ma se sta fuori, cioè se non sta fuori la notte, come faceva a sapere questa roba delle cose che collassavano e che loro hanno salvato la casa?
After
Mi
speaking
incazzo.
to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Io lo sapevo che diceva sta stronzata, lo sapevo, l'ho detto 2 secondi fa. E sapete perché questa è una stronzata? Perché anche se uno va a dormire alle 9 di sera, ma c'è un fottuto terremoto che rischia di tirare giù le cazzo di palazzine, forse, e dico forse, si sveglia comunque. Si può svegliare comunque qualcuno. Che ne pensi, eh? Non è così assurdo che le due cose consistano, cioè convivano l'una con l'altra, no? Che cazzata, vabbè. Ciao Tatina, incazzati con me.
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one.
Forse è meglio se tu non ti presenti,
she's
sai.
afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it.
Mamma, come ti ho letto proprio come una pagina di diario. Come una pagina di diario ti ho letto. Mamma mia.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham,
Così ovvio.
I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Ma perché non ce ne frega un cazzo, vogliamo solo sapere dove stanno.
We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is
Pure.
it really that simple?
Beh, Dio.
May I call you Traveler?
Certo.
Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
No.
Why is that?
Perché risulterà in una guerra.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Forse? Ci possiamo provare. Ci facciamo del nostro meglio.
I came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation.
Siamo jack of all trades noi.
So, we've met lots of people from
Facciamo tutto dappertutto.
and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
Esatto.
I want to trust you. My apologies
sarebbe
for
anche
asking
ora.
me questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons.
The fact is that I'm
Premuto F per sbaglio,
only
sorry.
one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru.
Perché? Di dove sei?
Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
No, sbattitele.
The radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Sì, di solito
Yeah.
gli estremisti la pensano
Some
così.
people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone.
Micetti, guardali qua i micetti.
You
Vabbè,
can tell them.
grazie.
I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
Sì.
All right.
Dai, si è fatta la
I'll
certa.
tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
Non credo, Paino.
Perhaps.
Penso
I'm not
proprio di no.
sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
E da dove arrivano?
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
Un ospedale abbandonato lontano dal villaggio,
They
dici?
used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Un ospedale abbandonato lontano dal villaggio dalla quale la notte arrivano delle urla inspiegabili? Ah, ok. Che ne pensi tu, Tatina? Ci piace quest'idea? Mm? Non vediamo l'ora di andarci? Perfetto, andiamoci, dai. E facciamo sta cazzata. Dai. È tanto ormai. Abbiamo fatto 30. Facciamo belluno. Mamma mia, che culo che ho avuto a pullare Sayu. Comunque è troppo bello andare in giro con lei. Assai. No, sono bloccato.
Is this the place?
Fatto. Oh, una seconda wave? Ehi, guarda chi c'è. Bravo, sei riuscito a farmi usare quasi tutti e 4 i personaggi. Quasi. Micetta bella, ciao. Cosa ti aspettavi?
Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that?
No. Robaccia. Proprio facile facile.
Super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
Vai, vai, non ce la possiamo fare.
This is the one.
De che? Ah. Ok. Adesso mi dici come cazzo facevi a saperlo. Adesso me lo dici.
Let's go in and take a look. Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
Così. Vabbè. Come se nulla fosse, ok? Eh beh, certo.
Okay, sure.
The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion, in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
Sta studiando fisica praticamente.
You got that?
Non credo.
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya. How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Ma dimmi te. Sì, in effetti non ti farebbe male leggere un libro di tanto in tanto, eh.
Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already.
Ah, sì?
But anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated.
Va bene, va bene. Sei la migliore, Paimon. Si è fatto notte.
Paimon's getting so sleepy.
Ci sta.
Huh? What was that sound?
There it is.
Ok, ed è da Silent Hill sta roba, eh. Proprio terrificante.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
È tipo un pazzo che sta ridendo da solo.
It's from below.
Vabbè.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Ma come facciamo a sentirlo dal villaggio quello? È una botola, perfetto. Ah.
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one.
Ma perché l'hanno
Looks
fatto?
like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Non ho capito l'utilità di questa cosa. Perché avrebbero dovuto... Ma possiamo fare un applauso agli sviluppatori di Genshin che hanno messo i pyro slime dentro i barilotti esplosivi? Cioè, sta roba è così poco notata, ma a me fa morire dal ridere. Perché non è che ci sono degli esplosivi, ci hanno messo proprio gli slime esplosivi dentro. È divertentissima sta cosa. E come facciamo a... Possiamo fare un cazzo? Eh sì, the elemental monuments around the hospital, ok. Tipo? Mi fai un esempio? Tipo questo, immagino di dover utilizzare Tiriamo fuori il dendro. Dov'è il team col dendro? Non avevo un team col dendro io? Questo... cos'è questo? Ah, non ho idea di dove... Ah, ok, sì. Ok, non credo che mi serva più. Mettiamo... Allora, facciamo quick setup. Mettiamo 1, 2, 3, 4. Quello di prima. Ecclesia. No, non ho preso Albedo. Ho preso Albedo? Io volevo il Traveler. Ah, perché non l'ho cambiato, giustamente. Sono un babbo. Ok. Babbo io che non l'ho cambiato. Qui c'è qualcosa? Sembrerebbe di no. Ok, e uno è andato. Poi... L'altro pollo caduto giù. Ma dimmi te. No, Magnatil. Non c'è un coso tipo qua? Ah, pensavo ci sarebbe stata un'altra roba da aprire. E qui? Ah no, mi sa che sono più vicini. Ecco, qua ce n'è uno. Come si apre questo? Con questi qua.
Into the wind.
I rinforzi addirittura. No, fungo di merda, vieni qua.
One with nature.
Ok, dicevamo. E anche questo è andato. Manca l'ultimo che era lì sotto, tipo, era qua. No, questo l'ho già fatto. Allora sarà sopra. Eccolo qui.
Into the wind.
Into the wind. Ok. Bene. E il tutto senza far esplodere i barilotti. Viva me proprio. Ok, eccoci qua. Emergency notice. Patient on bus. Male, 23 years old. Moon, left side of her. Difficult without professional medical care. Patient survivability once found, immediately informed. Don't give up. Stay positive. Being under watchful. Don't ever give up. Rest of the ok. Praticamente c'era uno messo parecchio male. Ma diceva di non perdere la speranza. Vabbè, qua parla della dieta. Cosa si mangia. Non ci interessa. Tutto il resto è vuoto, perfetto, quindi hanno mangiato solo fino a giovedì, il resto della settimana. Tutti a morire di fame. Poi, qui cosa abbiamo? See the dark remains step instead of ways, was useful flowers, the four for Avin. Ah, ok, quindi sì, praticamente questa era la stanza, immagino, di un certo Avin.
Look, there's someone over there.
Ma need to be careful cosa? È un poveraccio.
Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Wait.
Cosa?
You're...
Chi? Fammi indovinare, il grandpa?
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
Ma chi è?
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
Oh no.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holds up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life.
E come c'è finito così?
Leaving that question aside for the moment.
No, beh, mi sembra una domanda abbastanza importante, non lo lascerei da parte. Ah, sì?
Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him.
Abbiamo delle tracce.
They're clearer by the doorway. someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
Plausibile, sì.
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught.
Sia tu che sto crollando. Ciao Matt, buonanotte. Ciao caro, a domani. Se ci sei.
The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living
Ho male alla testa. Apro un po' la finestra.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Eh sì, è come quello che ha toccato il Divine Knowledge, quel che è. Esatto. È uguale. Eh sì, proprio lui.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale.
Sì. Ok.
First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village.
Datemi un secondo che vado a prendere un goccio d'acqua perché mi sa che qui ne avremo per un po' ancora. Ai ai. Continuiamo.
These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's followers.
Si sono fatti fregare come dei
Life
polli
for the desert
praticamente.
dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that.
Certo.
The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Certo.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Esatto.
It's in line with the village chief's theory too. But
Bene, quindi che dobbiamo fare?
one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Per capire perché si
Throughout this
sono
process,
risanati.
one thing has changed. The scholars' identity.
Eh sì.
First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
Per degli esperimenti,
One
Paimon.
possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
A quanto
With the
pare.
technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
Può essere che in realtà loro non stiano cercando nient'altro se non appunto questo divine knowledge. Cioè loro spingono questi studiosi a eseguire questi test folli che rischiano di farli impazzire, nella speranza che qualcuno facendo questo ottenga delle conoscenze utili per poi estrapolargliele dalla testa. Cioè, quindi il processo è: prendi studioso, gli fai fare questa cosa, questo percorso spirituale che rischia o quasi molto probabilmente lo fa impazzire, quasi sicuramente lo fa impazzire. Poi, a prescindere dal risultato, estrai dalla sua testa le informazioni. Tanto comunque era una persona persa, non mancherà nessuno, o meglio qualcuno si farà delle domande, ma sti cazzi. E in questo modo tu ottieni sicuramente delle informazioni, ma potresti potenzialmente ottenere anche delle informazioni di divine knowledge. Credo che sia questo l'obiettivo?
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want to think about this.
Come avete fatto a trovare questa
I'm
tecnologia?
the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging
come l'hai
by his
scoperta,
state,
intendeva lui, ok.
the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
A quanto pare sì. Most of the mad scholars had made contact with divine consciousness in the forest. That's what the academy is after. It's also safe to assume that this knowledge is something to do with the fact with Doctor and also with Balladeer. Using divine knowledge capsule to return Balladeer into a god. Sì.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer.
L'Accademia ha bisogno di persone che sono state esposte alla conoscenza, alla coscienza divina.
That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry.
Perfetto, meno male.
Information from people
Sarebbe un
as if they
problema.
were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sono d'accordo.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Sì.
Probably not.
Potenzialmente.
Not sure.
Però le tue motivazioni sono più
You
personali,
can say
giustamente.
Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want.
Che è
The
giustissimo,
divine
direi.
knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
The just having a great moral responsibility justifies action because they are truly special motivations. Someone like him might actually make for a better ally. Beh, sì.
Hyman's been wanting to say
Ci
this
sta.
for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right.
Ok, Paimon, va
Though I
bene.
must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out.
Meno male.
Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Può essere, sì.
That's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, life would definitely be a lot easier.
Vero.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general.
Addirittura.
There's nothing more to
Anche
it.
modesto, vedo. Vabbè, ma il tizio qua lo lasciamo soffrire come un cane oppure...
He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us.
Sì.
We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
Dai. Torniamo al villaggio, vediamo che fare. Plop.
We're back.
Salve.
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
Che carina Candice.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Quello che è rimasto.
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
Sì, li aggiorniamo su tutto quello che è successo.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
A quanto pare sì.
Pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Questa è un'ottima domanda.
Yeah, why is that?
Ma soprattutto come l'hanno scoperto. Sì. Così sembrerebbe.
One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
A quanto pare.
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue.
Allora spiegacelo.
Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole.
Ma non lo sta facendo di sua spontanea volontà.
And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point, but I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
In che
What are you
senso?
trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra?
Huh?
As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
Ci sta.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules.
Ok.
I remember seeing a thick
Me lo puoi
notebook
ripetere
next to
come si
the
chiama?
control panel
Nyakarba?
once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too?
Buongiorno.
What's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
Chi lo dice,
The
scusami?
Akasha is capable of computation.
Può presupporre quali saranno le tue
Akasha's
azioni.
algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
Che figo.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
Che figo, cioè, nel senso, no, è terrificante sta cosa se fosse
So that's
vera.
how it is.
Però, nella
Sino
finzione è
adheres
molto
to his
interessante
principles
come
so
plot
strongly
narrativo.
that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
E soprattutto non è colpa tua. Mettiamola così, quantomeno non possiamo incolparti.
I have an idea.
Vai. Fare le cose a
If they
cazzo di
predicted
cane.
my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now. If the Academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be...
If he's trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be one step behind him.
Yep, that's right!
They'll
che
want to
senso?
proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going.
Stai diventando più intelligente, Paimon, incredibile.
I must go. There's also something I
Ed
want
io?
to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
No.
You want to go too?
No.
If so,
No.
you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
A posto. Va bene.
Hey, let's go! Remember to pack some food with you!
Certo.
Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Follow sign. Ma... no, aspetta, io però adesso sono curioso di capire quanto cazzo manca per sta roba. Perché prima o poi finirà sta missione, mi immagino, no? Allora, vediamo dove siamo noi. Ah, aspetta, lo metto di qua. Dovremmo essere tipo qua. Questa parte l'abbiamo già vista, giusto? Qua è quando scazzano. Qua cosa succede? No, no, no. Ah, qua è ancora quando... oh no. Clee. Per favore. Per favore. No, basta. Anzi, mettiamo Raiden che non dice nulla. E dov'è quella qua? La 4. C'è quella qua, eccola qua, la 4. Allora, qua è dove pestiamo i banditi. Qua è qui sotto. E qua è qua, quindi sicuro ci manca ancora un'altra oretta. Ok. Ok, non pensavo. Pensavo sarebbe stato... c'è anche una parte 5? No, ok, quindi mi sa che sarà... ok, va bene. Allora niente, per stasera chiudiamo qui. Ero convinto che l'avremmo finito stasera, non so il perché. Pensavo sarebbe stato più corto. E facciamo questa cutscene giusto per... così ce la togliamo. E poi concludiamo. No, ok, perfetto. Allora, a posto, niente, concludiamo qui. Benissimo. Stacchiamo qui per stasera. E... un po' lentino, un po' lentino. Diciamo che ormai siamo entrati nel pieno della storia di Sumeru, quindi devo essere sincero, mi aspettavo qualcosa di un po' più movimentato. Se la sta prendendo molto comoda col setup dell'ambientazione, col setup dei personaggi, dell'avventura, no, della narrativa. È un po' lenta, eh. Abbiamo fatto 3 combattimenti in croce in 2 ore e 20 di live. Secondo me c'è ancora quel problema di pacing, più che altro perché i combattimenti che abbiamo fatto, ragazzi, erano una cazzata. Io capisco che comunque tu debba fare il gioco anche per i novizi, ok? Magari c'è uno che arriva qui di livello 3 virgolette basso, che ancora non hai neanche i personaggi al 90, va bene. Però, cioè, mettila qualcosa che sia un minimo di difficoltà. Cioè, una roba... anche tante ondate semplici mi va bene, ok? Però, cioè, io letteralmente, ragazzi, 5 secondi è durato il combattimento. Letteralmente 5 secondi è durato. Uno dei 2 o 3 combattimenti che abbiamo fatto oggi. Cioè, è una roba imbarazzante. È vergognoso, davvero. E ho usato 2 personaggi, anzi 3. Ho usato Albedo, Klee e Kazuha. Pensa se usavo il Rational Team che uso in Abyss. O Bennett con Zhenglin e Kazuha e Hayato, non lo so, sfondavo tutto. Non lo so, e non ho neanche usato le Ultimate, cioè per dirvi, davvero troppo semplice, troppo semplice. Io, lo sapete, cioè, non mi dispiacciono le cutscene, a me piacciono nei videogiochi, ma qui non c'è gameplay, non c'è gameplay. È alla stregua di una visual novel. E un po' inizia a pesarmi questa cosa, devo essere sincero. Ciao patata. Detto questo, niente ragazzuoli, ci salutiamo. Io vi do l'appuntamento a domani. Ci becchiamo con COD, probabilmente concluderemo Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4. E poi di nuovo mercoledì su Genshin, probabilmente a concludere la missione di questo giro. Signore e signori, un muso pieno di peli. Mamma mia. Un muso pieno di peli, vi auguro la buonanotte. Un bacione, grazie mille per essere passati. Ci becchiamo domani sera alle 21, come al solito, con COD 4 Modern Warfare. Ciao belli, buonanotte.